Good evening and welcome to 6-1 News. The headlines this lunchtime brought to you by Kia, your number one source of cars for cars in Ireland. The headlines: RTE in hot water over its Ryan Tubridy pay deal, brought to you by Renault. In other news, the BBC presenter, unnamed BBC presenter, has been named. That story is brought to you by Eurospar. And finally this evening, cost of cigarettes to go up in the budget. We'll be talking about that with our experts, and that'll be brought to you by Science Foundation Ireland. Stay with us. We'll just take a quick break. Hear from our sponsors. Stay with us and come back to us, and we'll tell you more stories that are sponsored by our sponsors. Yes, that's right, Sharon. I'm coming to you here live from the Just Stop Boyle protest, where the protesters behind me here are demanding an end to the traffic through the town of Boyle. They want it bypassed, and they want to bring Boyle to a standstill to emphasise their point and to highlight the people's carbon footprint. They believe it's all linked to shoe size, but that's a whole other story. From the protest here in Boyle to Just Stop Boyle, it's back to you in the studio, Sharon.
There are burst water mains in their area.
Impose several boil water notices in water.
As an incentive to pay your TV licence, the government have announced a new scheme in which pensioners can avail of a free smartphone and smart device with Revolut account incorporated as standard, and they will be entered into a draw for a bed in a retirement home with the location to be confirmed. And also, coming up, still to come, a survey says people who were wrapped up in the lockdown should now move on. And now we go back to our main story, which is the Oscars at the Oireachtas. The Oscar Oireachtas. And Vivian Trainer will be there for us with a whip to report tragically from tragic events at the small claims court. I should have, of course, warned listeners and viewers and downloaders and podcasters and YouTubers that following that previous report contained detailed descriptions of victimisation and trauma, and shouldn't have been watched really by anyone under the age of 27 or anyone recovering from addiction. But if you watched it, you can go to rte.ie/helplines, where we can help you if you get through to us. Now, next, Fran McNulty will explore the cruel and hidden world of small family farms, and now we'll have a warning to viewers that this report contains footage which may, at the very least, make you think about becoming a vegan. Fran McNulty there with that report on small family farms. And lastly tonight, the Social Democrats leader and well-bred TikTok sensation Holly Hearns has announced she is pregnant with the likely second coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. The party's spokesperson for e-scooters and sandbags, and confirmed the happy news on the floor of the Dáil this evening. And now it's back to you, Sharon. Yes, that's right, Sharon. We heard from Deputy Catherine Connolly there. She was speaking for 30 minutes in the Dáil about the third or fourth Intifada in Palestine, and also the atrocities happening on the West Bank and Gaza Strip by the Israeli Defence Forces. So she was talking about that there. But we'll return to our main story, which of course is the set of Fair City being moved from the D4 Montrose campus of RT to on Spidzale in County Galway to the TG Carr set of Rossnaroon, an amalgamation of the two sets taking place in an effort to save taxpayers some taxpayers' money. Also, the sale of the Montrose campus seems to be now on the top of the agenda, with RT executives and chairmen related to people on the board saying that the Montrose campus could provide housing, etc., 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 public transport sustainability, and we could also move to Leitrim, where we can buy loads of houses. It's back to you in studio, Sharon, where you can bring us up to date on People Before Profits spokesperson for door handles that haven't worked in a few years, and they're bringing their bill before the Dáil now. So you can tell us about their bill that they're bringing before the Dáil. Sharon. Yes, that's right, Sharon. It's called the Rory Coveney defence. It's only been used a few times in the past, most notably when Simon Coveney was the Minister for Housing and did nothing but make things worse. Simon Coveney, of course, now is the Minister for Enterprise, Trade, Employment and Green Core. We'll hear more about the defence used by our correspondent on the scene there, who's going to come live for us now. We have technical difficulties there going live to the scene. We'll just take a quick break.